Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. We have some news, so let's get to it. The very first thing I want to show you guys is the official painted up version of the Chen Tyrannosaurus Rex. And I know I've been promoting this figure for a little while now, and I recently said in my last news video that included this, that I was really excited to see one of these painted up. Well, we do now officially have a chance to look at one painted up, and it is amazing, absolutely incredible. The sculpt is so beautiful once the paint is on it. It just unbelievably looks like the coolest Tyrannosaurus Rex, and with having kind of like wounds all over it and everything, really helps to give like a very realistic factor to the dinosaur figure overall. I'm not 100% sure exactly who it is that painted this specific one, but man, does it look good. It is really well painted, beautiful tones they've used on it, but just in general really shows, like I said, shows off the sculpt and just how realistic and well done it is, and shows how jam-packed the sculpt is overall as far as the detail included, and just overall shows how amazing this kit is. Again, this is still available, but only in 1/35th scale. The 1/20th scale sold out so quickly, so we do have 1/35th scale still yet available, but it's probably not going to be available for very long. So if you are interested in picking that up, I will include a link in the description to where you can contact Chen on Facebook, or you can contact me and I will contact them for you if you do not have social media. And then as far as W Dragon goes, they've recently shown off a few images of an upcoming Tyrannosaurus Rex bust. If you can recall, a little while back we had a female version of the Tyrannosaurus Rex bust. Well, they will be re-releasing that now as a male version. And I can't tell if the sculpt is any different or if it's the exact same sculpt, but one thing I can tell for sure is that the paint on it is absolutely beautiful and would look wonderful next to the female version. I have actually reviewed the female version a little while back, so make sure you check that review out if you are interested in this one, because it'll give you a good idea of what you're getting yourself into with this male version. But honestly, this male version looks unbelievable as far as the sculpt and paintwork goes, and I definitely want to get hold of this one and review it for you guys as well. Then as far as Dan's Dinosaurs goes, and Passion Charger, I wanted to let you guys know that this very cool Tyrannosaurus hunting 1/25th scale resin kit that we had actually seen a little while back is now officially available to purchase on Dan's Dinosaurs. In case anyone was interested in picking this up, I did want to let you guys know about it being available on Dan's Dinosaurs, as he is a very trustworthy and respectable seller and store, so somewhere that you know you can trust to get this incredible resin kit. And it is, again, like I said, available now on Dan's Dinosaurs. And then as far as Think Art goes, we have the final images of the Dunkleosteus, the final version. I guess it was slightly re-edited, and we now have a look at the very cool base and everything that is included, with kind of like a rock underneath the Dunkleosteus. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Again, I am a huge fan of the Think Art line and have reviewed every one of their releases so far as the prehistoric figures they've released here on the channel, and fully intend on continuing that trend with this incredible looking Dunkleosteus, which actually may end up being my favorite release from them so far. It is just that beautiful looking, if you ask me, so definitely something I am really looking forward to, and it should be right around the corner as far as release date time. And then as far as Chronicle Collectibles goes, they are actually going to be creating a 1/12th scale officially licensed articulated figures line, which I'm not too sold, honestly, on this Velociraptor blue. I mean, maybe it'll look better in person, I can't really tell, but from these images here, I feel like the color is really off as far as blue goes, and some of the detailing just doesn't really look that great on the figure, especially once you get out into the tail. The tail looks like maybe the detail is a little muted, and in general the paint doesn't really match up all that perfectly to the actual film, which is quite surprising, honestly, because as far as the prototypes from Chronicle, they always look really good. It's just the actual factory released figures that don't normally look all that great. But again, this one actually, as far as the prototype goes, I don't really think it looks that great either. Maybe the final figure will be better. There's no real information quite yet as far as like prices that I've heard of from Chronicle as far as these figures go, but there is going to be a Kickstarter coming soon to try to get these figures funded. Chronicle doing things a little bit differently than they usually do, so I will include a link in the description to where you can inquire further about this upcoming 1/12th scale Jurassic Park style articulated figures from Chronicle. And also, as far as Chronicle, they actually released a pre-order for another statue, and this is a Velociraptor breakout, and I actually think this is really cool. Again, it's hard to trust Chronicle and the figures they release and actually getting good paint jobs on their figures, but this one I think looks amazing as far as this prototype goes, and it's something that you haven't really seen anybody tackle before, and that would be the Velociraptors when they were actually escaping from their paddock. So I think the entire idea behind it is really cool, even if it's not something that was actually seen in the film. I think it's an absolutely awesome idea and really beautifully portrayed here in this scene created by Chronicle. And again, as I stated, this is up for pre-order right now, so I will include a link in the description to the pre-order of this Breakout Raptor set if you would like to go ahead and pre-order it for yourself. I'm actually having a hard time not doing it, but I'm just kind of like 50-50 at this point as to whether I'm going to pre-order this one or not, but it does look really, really nice. And then as far as Rebor, they've shown off an image here of a few of their upcoming figures kind of all together, which does help to give us a good idea of a size comparison within each of the figures, showing off that some of them are pretty large, honestly, and the skulls I think are a little bit smaller than I was expecting them to be, but I think they still look really cool, which also will help to make them kind of affordable, which is definitely a good thing. I also noticed that there's an interesting Velociraptor in there, and I don't know anything about that figure. I don't remember them announcing that or anything previously, so I'll be quite intrigued to see more about that, hopefully sometime in the near future. And then as far as Memory Museum goes, we haven't heard too much from them for a little while thanks to the COVID-19 situation going on, but we now have a few official unveilings, one of which I was extremely excited about. It is the Carnotaurus. And you can see right here that the Carnotaurus looks absolutely beautiful, just like I expected it to be, because Memory Museum always releases incredible work, and I do believe the same person that sculpted their Dilophosaurus has sculpted this Carnotaurus and actually their upcoming Bajadasaurus, and that as well looks absolutely unbelievably gorgeous, just like I expected it to look. The Memory Museum line produces some of the absolute best statues I've ever seen, and these two look to be possibly the two best that they've released so far, although every single one has been an absolute amazing work of art. And they will actually be releasing an exclusive version, which includes both the Carnotaurus and the Bajadasaurus together on one base, kind of making it appear as like the Carnotaurus is hunting. And you can see the two of them here together kind of creating a scene, which I think is absolutely amazing. This is definitely something I would love to get my hands on, would be this complete scene with both together. It is just amazing looking for sure. And we actually have a few other upcoming releases kind of teased here from Memory Museum, as we have some aquatic animals that will be coming out from Memory Museum. We had seen quite a few of them a little while back, kind of teased, and we could definitely see some really incredible stuff here with these images coming from Memory Museum as well, just like the previous things that we had seen teased. So there is really a ton of stuff coming from Memory Museum in the very near future, and I honestly could not be more excited about this line and everything coming out from it. And then as far as Favorite Company goes, they actually are releasing more figures than we had previously anticipated, as we have a look at a larger version of an Iguanodon, which I think looks really nice. Very nice paint scheme on it as well. Definitely a figure that I'm hoping to pick up at some point. And you can see here next to the smaller Iguanodon that's releasing this year, and of course a hand there kind of holding it, it definitely is a pretty sizable figure. They are also releasing a different Diplodocus, a larger version with a reddish paint scheme, which it's kind of like 50-50 for me as far as how well I like the paint scheme on this one, but I think the sculpt is beautiful and the larger size is definitely very appealing to me, as we don't have too many large sauropod figures out there, so this is definitely an intriguing figure. And then we also have a large Quetzalcoatlus, which I think is just gorgeous. Everything on this as far as the sculpt and paint is beautiful looking as far as I'm concerned. So this is yet another figure from Favorite Company that I definitely want to pick up at some point this year when these do officially release. And then as far as Nanmu, we have kind of a look here at the Velociraptor squad, or at least blue, while someone is holding it, and it looks really quite nice, but also helps to give us a pretty good idea of the size of the figures. You definitely should be aware of how small they actually are, but considering you know that the Nanmu line is kind of trying to stay within scale of each other of each of the releases, you should know that the Velociraptors would be pretty small, but I think again they look absolutely beautiful. We have another look here at the Ankylosaurus bust. It looks really nice, beautifully sculpted, beautifully painted. Unfortunately, these busts don't really get released too often, it seems. I don't see too many releases online or places you can buy them aside from the initial Indominus, but hopefully they'll start to show up online for sale at some point soon. We also have a look at the Ceratosaurus as far as that bust goes, which looks really cool as well. I'm a huge fan of Ceratosaurus, so I definitely would like to pick that one up at some point. And then the actual painted up version, or at least one of the painted up Ceratosaurus figures here, we get a nice look at. And just like I kind of expected, nicely displaying a Jurassic Park 3 paint scheme, even though the Ceratosaurus itself doesn't really look too much like the actual JP3 sculpt, but it does look beautiful regardless as far as the sculpt that we do have here and the paint scheme. Both the sculpt and paint are awesome if you ask me, and this is definitely one of the most exciting upcoming Nanmu releases when it comes to what I like, because I am a huge Ceratosaurus fan right behind Carnotaurus, so I'm psyched beyond belief for that figure. And we also have a look at the actual factory released version of the Tyrannosaurus. Just one image, and these figures are actually kind of releasing, I think, right around the corner. I believe they were supposed to be ready sometime around the end of June, early July. Maybe a little bit longer because sometimes things get delayed, but regardless, seeing a factory painted version of it is really nice, very reassuring that they are coming soon, and has me even more excited for them because this looks beautiful. Definitely one of, if not the best Jurassic Park style Rex figures that we've ever had. And then as far as Mattel goes, we have a look at a very cool Camp Cretaceous minifigure set here that will be coming out in the very near future, and it has quite a few interesting looking figures in it. Most seem to be repaints, or at least that's what it kind of appears to be, but we do have some pretty cool figures in there otherwise, like that really nicely repainted Triceratops, also a green and brown looking Baryonyx, possibly a metallic Indominus. I can't really tell too well from these images. We also have a bumpy Ankylosaurus baby minifigure in there as well, so there is a bunch included, which is really cool to see so many figures included in one set. You have 10 minifigures all at once, which is awesome to see, so definitely a set I am excited about. And these images of the minifigures are thanks to Jurassic Attic, but as far as this figure goes, we have a look at the Velociraptor Delta Amber Collection figure thanks to Collect Jurassic, so it's nice to see some more Amber Collection getting released, and definitely confirming that we will have the entire Raptor squad as far as the Amber Collection goes. I would love to start seeing some other figures like the Lost World version, or maybe some JP3 Raptors, but once we get through this Raptor squad, I think we'll hopefully get to those at some point. Regardless, I think Delta looks okay, looks pretty nice, but again, similar to Charlie, it looks like there might be a lack of paint up there on the head, but the image isn't really that great of quality. It's not really a close-up or anything that we could see of the head, so we'll just have to wait and see. Regardless, a pretty nice looking figure that I will definitely be picking up. So as of right now, guys, that's all the news I've got. When more comes out, I'll be sure to send it your way, but until then, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.